got the last one of the day. It's Josef. Your second name is it Rakich?
Yeah, no one can ever say my last name,
Right.
so no.
I checked 3 times earlier, and I was saying to him, like, don't fucking say it wrong.
No one gets it right. So it's Josef Rakich.
Rakich.
Yeah.
Right, so close enough-ish.
Yeah.
But yeah, in essence, it's obviously a bit of a random one because you kind of film with Michael, and it's good to have you on because obviously I was a coach for 10 years, so I knew who you were because you've fucking been around for double the amount of time that I've been around, pretty much. But you've obviously kind of got a lot going on now, and when I was saying to Michael, I was like, well, what can we speak about? And he basically turned and said, it'll be easy because you've both got similar backgrounds. And I was like, right, sounds, so that's going to be a fun conversation. And so I was like, as a starting point, because obviously some of my audience won't have a clue who you are, basically, in terms of that respect, like, you've got the JFR transformations, and and then you've got the Millionaire Blueprint, and I know you've got loads of other stuff kind of going on as well. But do you want to just give a bit of a brain dump to who you are and what you do?
Yep, sure thing. So I guess the main thing that I do is online personal training. I help people with meal plans and workout programs all around the world through my very own fitness app. I've had over 170,000 subscription clients to date. And it's just all through my app. They get their meal plan, they get their workout program, they follow it, they can track their workouts, they can track the weight lifted, they can track how much water they drank per day, they can upload their progress photos, take their measurements, everything is within the app. So that's the main thing I do on a day-to-day basis, but I also own the company Macroactive. Now Macroactive is the software behind my fitness app.
That's genius, to be fair. No outsourcing.
So because I've had so many clients, it's impossible for me to manually do every single meal plan and workout program. So I wanted to automate it so it can be still 100% personalized, but take away all of the manual work. So when a client signs up with me, they fill out all their information, height, weight, age, gender, daily activity levels, blah, blah, blah. From this information provided, the software can work out how much protein, carbs, fats, and total calories they need, as well as the perfect workout program for them and their goals based on what I personally believe in. So my clients are getting a meal plan and a workout program based around the foods that they like, exactly as if I was to manually write it with my hand.
It's all automated.
Because it's all on my
Is it an AI system then? Or is it like
it's an algorithm.
Yeah, algorithm.
So because this helped me 100x my business, it made me able to take on any number of clients I want, yet still offer personalized meal plans and workout programs. We then created another company, and that company is called Macroactive. So now what we do at Macroactive, we build websites and we develop mobile fitness apps for other trainers like myself, and we do their customer support, and then we help them grow and scale their business. So we've got over 600 trainers on our platform. We've got 600,000 end users. And I think we've just crossed 86 million in revenue from other trainers. So there's definitely a lot of money in this online training space, and the other online trainers are doing some pretty phenomenal numbers as well and changing a lot of lives. So it's pretty awesome, and this never would have been possible if it was manual work.
So yeah, that's my question. So with you and the JFR kind of app, do you actually have your own coaches, or is it more of a staff management system behind managing the app as like a model? Yep.
So basically what I sell is a low ticket item.
Yeah, that's what I knew that. Yeah.
Yep. So it's $7 a week, very cheap, very affordable, and easy to convert someone. Because it's so cheap and affordable, they get pretty much everything they need. Meal plan, workout program, ab workouts, cardio routines, 24/7 customer support from my support team, all of that. But they don't get any direct one-on-one coaching. Obviously, if there was direct one-on-one coaching from either myself or a coach, it would be something we would charge a higher price for. In saying that though, I have just launched high ticket literally January this year. So we're going to try and play around with the high ticket model, but 99.9% of my business has always been low ticket.
Yeah, see, it's different, but again, it's smart as fuck because how many years have you been in the industry now?
I don't know, but I would say probably
a lot of
12 plus.
Yeah. So been in like quite a long time, and I would say particularly in the last 5-6 years, everything moved towards high ticket, upfront sales, selling 6 to 12 months, and in reality, like what you got to take into account in business, especially with people who follow me, is there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yep.
And you obviously kind of saw that gap back then, and you've obviously capitalized on it massively. And as you've got into that venture, other doors have opened, and you capitalize on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's totally different. But I've got an education business, which I kind of did the same with, because I started on like a level 2 and level 3 low ticket. That was the buy-in for my business academy, and then my business academy is my buy-in for my consultancy. But it started with offering something at a lower price as like a certification to work up to that kind of big few £1,000 a month type stuff. And then you've also got the Millionaire Blueprint?
Yep, got that.
So what's that? Because I don't know anything about that one.
So basically the Millionaire 101 Blueprint is essentially my entire personal blueprint on everything I've learned and everything I know over the last 10, 12, 15 years, however long I've been in the space. What I do to grow social media, how I've grown social media, how I get sales, the call to actions I use, how I get sales without a social media, affiliate marketing, drop shipping, email marketing, Facebook ads, you name it. If I've done it at some point, I've mentioned it in here. Again, it's not one-to-one coaching. It's kind of low ticket, maybe mid ticket. It's $197 for the course for life. And they get the course, they go through the course. And I've also got a wealth network, which is like a networking hub on Discord, where they can just, chat in all different sub channels, crypto, tax, stocks, real estate, e-commerce, sales, anything, you name it. We've got many different subcategories, and it's just a whole big networking hub. So the goal with that is obviously just to keep updating the blueprint with new things I learn, new strategies I learn in the course. And then the networking hub, the wealth network, is just to build that community up over time and eventually have a community where everyone's just sharing useful information.
Yeah, can I say, because you learn, well, you take opportunities from everyone who comes through your door at the end of the day, don't you? Like, even the people who you would never think in a million years. So, in essence, like, the J4 and the app has built out kind of the community base, and you've kind of capitalized on your success through the Millionaire Blueprint, and then obviously created a community on in which you can then feed back into for networking purposes and everything else.
Yep, correct.
So, as you can see at this point, you're a pretty fucking successful bloke, as you can imagine, right? But where did this all start? Because it interested me. For me, like, I love the business side of it, and yeah, I'm doing all right for my age. I'm only young, don't get me wrong, but for me, it's like I constantly relate back to where I came from. Like, people say to me all the time, "How are you so successful? How have I done all this at my age?" And I'll turn around and go, "Because at one point I fucking weren't, and it could have gone a totally kind of different direction." So, what would you say that again? Before you had any of this, what were you doing at that point? And what was basically the journey from then until now?
Yeah. So prior to doing this online training stuff, I had pretty much no idea what I wanted to do. I mucked around at school. I only went to school for my lunch and to hang out with friends. So I failed school, dropped out of school, didn't know what I wanted to do. I went and worked for my dad. At the time, he owned a food distributing company. So I worked for him in a negative 18 degrees freezer all day. It was the worst thing that you could imagine. It was terrible. But at that same time, I was in the gym, I was training, and I found my passion for the gym. So I knew that, I wanted to do something in fitness. That's when I studied to become a personal trainer. Now, at the same time, I guess I was posting my pictures up on bodybuilding forums, my before and after images, and people were asking me, how did I do this? What was my diet like? What was my training like? And I used to help them for free. And it got to a point where so many people were asking, I thought I could probably charge a service for this. So we set up just a basic website, one landing page, and a buy now button. That was literally it. And they could purchase a meal plan and workout program, which I would manually work out the calories and macros and all of that and give them the meal plan. So I was doing that, and I went and studied to become a personal trainer, got my qualifications, started working in a gym, enjoyed that because, I love fitness. It's my what I live and breathe. But as I was being the personal trainer in the gym, I just realized it wasn't scalable.
No, fucking definitely not.
You're literally trading your time for a payment for an hour or something. So you are capped. I'm sure you can do group classes, but still you're captain.
It's just you capture energy as well. I probably toppled 20,000 hours PT before I did anything in what I do now. So, and I again, because a lot of my followers are PTs and online coaches, I generally got to the point where I reckon in the last year of personal training, I dragged it out and I shouldn't have. I should have just stopped much sooner.
Yep.
Because you'll end up providing a shit quality service for your PT clients. So that when it comes to wanting to convert into online, you can't because they think you're a dickhead because you've been shit in sessions for the last 6 months.
Yeah. And I also think people get more out of online because in person, they get you for the session and you're pushing them. Yeah, one more rep. Come on, you got one more. But for the most part, when I was personal trainer, we didn't even provide them with a meal plan or a workout program.
Yeah,
Not
back in the day.
Not back in the day. And I was like, what do they actually need to get results? They need an actual meal plan to follow and an actual training program. So why don't I just sell that?
Yeah.
So that started picking up online. People just started, coming to me from bodybuilding forums. After it started getting too much, I then started pulling my days down at the gym. So from 6 days a week to 4 to 3 to 2 to none. Social media came around, Instagram, Facebook.
So you basically got all this started when bodybuilding forums were a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was literally doing it on the bodybuilding.com forums.
Yeah.
Before Instagram was around. I was an online trainer before social media.
I say this to people. I've got no. It's a running joke. My fault. Like even Michael. I don't have 8,000 followers, but I do well, and I've got a lot of good clients. But the reason for that is I built what I have when Instagram weren't even around. It would just it probably only last since I've known you. I've genuinely probably started focusing on social media. And literally started coming in and going, right, I actually need to start getting serious because I'm getting dicked on by everyone else's followers here.
Yeah.
But this is what I mean by, like, for example, what you're saying there, a lot of the time people are obsessed with Instagram. And when Instagram's 1 minute, like, yeah, pictures and reels, and I'm just like, fucking make your mind up. Do you know what I mean? But for example, like you there, straight away, it's like, there's more to fucking fitness and business in Instagram. There's even now, there's still forums, there's still other platforms, like, I'm big on, like, you've got Discord chats there. Like, what I've started using recently is, like, more circle community spaces because there's loads of functionality you can do in it and building a hub on that side. But like I said, I think people come in on a one-dimensional perspective and think success is big. Yeah, you've got shitloads of Instagram followers now, but before, when you were successful, you didn't. Yeah. And it didn't start with Instagram, and it won't end with Instagram. Yeah,
exactly. And things always change. People always say to me, oh, what are you going to do if Instagram goes? I'm like, yeah, it might, but they're going to be somewhere. Yeah. It could be another app, it could be another platform. If Instagram goes, they're not going to chuck away their phones and never use the internet. Like, we're still going to be consuming content in some way on some platform. Yeah. So it's just about adapting, figuring out what that platform is and utilizing it.
Yeah, it's getting into data capture. Like, that's one of my biggest mistakes, or one of the biggest regrets, is not getting into data capture much sooner. Getting into, like, for example, getting into email marketing, getting into hosting lead generation, and rather than just collecting a shitload of followers, because I have some clients now who are on 40,000 followers and their account gets deactivated. Yeah. And then they're like, sometimes obviously can get it back, but sometimes it's not even worth it because it's all fucked and their engagements has gone from it. So they've had to, like, restart up kind of the pages and done really, really well, but they've actually restarted their Instagram pages and done better than they were doing before because the new target market hitting that page is exactly what's aligned with the content. Yep. But it's like, so that's why I always say to people, like, don't think, right, if you're only posting on Instagram, then you're going to be at a loss because you've got YouTube Shorts, you've got long form, you've got TikTok, you've got email marketing, you've got forums. Like, you need to spread your wings out there because if you're only ever pissing into one bucket, like, it doesn't take long until sometimes that can go out of the way. Yeah.
And if you are posting on Instagram and it's an Instagram reel, you may as well just put it on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. It's just, repurposing the content in another platform where there could be a different audience that sees your stuff. It's just being in front of more people. So
I've had this conversation earlier. I can't remember it with someone who else moved to Dubai. Oh, Harley, that's it. What was your biggest reason moving from New Zealand to Dubai? Because I'm stuck in this at the moment, and I'm trying to justify it to myself staying in the UK. It's the best thing, to be fair, but it's good to hear different people's opinions.
Yep. Many reasons. Like, New Zealand is a beautiful country. It's a nice country. It's a beautiful country. My friends, my family are there, but it's very slow. I just felt like I was stale and I felt like I was mundane, going to the boring gym, doing the same old routine day in, day out. And I felt like I wasn't growing anymore. Very hard to network, very hard to collab, hard to create content there. I just felt like I was limited. Every time I come to Dubai and I'm here for, a couple of weeks, it's just completely different. So I was like, okay, I have to move myself there. I have to be around people wanting to do better, wanting to achieve more, because that energy is contagious, you just by default start doing more yourself because you're just around people that are, going for it. It's just a lot better place to network, collab, create content. Also, I travel a lot. So Dubai is a country that's close to many other countries.
That's what Tim said earlier.
I can easily go there. But in New Zealand, for me to go anywhere, I've really got to go somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
It took me 18 hours to get to Dubai. So we're at the end of the world. So also, because Dubai's close to so many countries, people are always coming through that I can network with, I can collab with. New Zealand, no one comes there. No. Unless there's a really specific reason. So just being here has just opened up so many doors, given me so much more opportunity, and I think it's going to allow me to grow a lot more than what I ever could in New Zealand. Plus, there's no tax here.
Yeah, that's all.
In New Zealand, I'm paying 39%, so I basically lose 39% of my income that I make.
Yeah, well, that's the reason I'm here at the moment doing a dual reg thing, but I'm just 50. I'm 50-50. Like part of me wants to come because all my clients are here and it's a great environment. But then again, I've got two Huskies and I've got an education business in UK. We're in office space, and it's like I'm just torn between. So I think I might have to do like 3 months on, 1 month off or something.
Yeah,
He's looking at me.
And I'm setting myself up here. I'm setting my company up here, and I'll live here. But I can still travel. I can go back to New Zealand. So you can get the best of both worlds.
Thing is,
but with Huskies, it's a little bit different, I understand.
Yeah, you enjoy it a little bit more as well when you do go home as well, don't you? Because that's what kind of Tim McKinnon was saying, same thing earlier on podcasts, and like when I took him on recently, and he was like, I remember when he joined us, and he was blown away by what we do, and he was like, nobody's doing this in Australia, and I said, it's just business consultancy as an agency, bro. Like, it means you've got a load of staff working with you. And I was like, yeah, but nobody's doing it. And I was like, surely not. And then obviously, the more people I've kind of met in New Zealand, Australia, and that, they don't really have that type of infrastructure. There's not really a vast amount of huge names in New Zealand personal training or online coaching. Yeah. And it's the same as Australia. And I don't know why that is, because I've never been to New Zealand, but when I've been to Australia, there's obviously a massive fitness culture anyway. And it's almost like in Australia, they all look after themselves. But like, what would you say the difference is with kind of the culture of New Zealand with like fitness businesses compared to kind of where it would be here?
There is not really any fitness businesses in New Zealand. There's a few, and they do pretty well, but they're very small. Like they work with their clients one-on-one. They're a very good coach from getting clients results. But, it's just completely different to over here. Over here, it's just almost like their top of their head opens up and their brain just expands, and they can see so much more vision and so much more growth.
It's just closed-minded, isn't it?
It's closed-minded, yeah, and it's very hard to get out of that unless you move yourself out of that and just be around people that are doing phenomenally well, and then you learn that's possible, and you start to level up.
So like when you kick back 10 years ago, in that first, let's just say 2 to 3 year period when things started to go really, really well for you, what was the difference? What if you were going to turn around and say, right, that was the single? Obviously, you had your low subscription as a buy-in as one big key pillar, but what would you say that the second biggest kind of thing was? What catapulted you so fast?
Like into the business, you mean?
Into just the growth of the business.
Growth. Yep. I honestly, it was my enjoyment for what I do. I enjoyed, the fitness space. I enjoyed learning about it. I enjoyed researching about it. So it was my passion for a start. And then when I found out that, I can help other people by doing this, get paid for it, and then other people get results, and then they come to me saying how much they've lost, and they're so happy and they're so grateful. It was just such like a good feeling. I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. Like that feels really well to hear that. So I wanted more of that. So I just kept trying to grow and expand as much as I can. And I figured out the best way to do that is, back in the day it was TV and newspaper, but we're consuming that less. So now it's social media.
What, you used to advertising?
No, we never did that. But no, we never done TV, never done
Like I said, I've never heard anyone do that before.
Yeah,
So
no. Well, I was saying, but like back in the day, before me, like if you're selling a product, it was TV or radio or newspaper. But now we've all got this. We can all have our own platform to push and promote anything. So I understood where people were spending their time, and I had to be there. And now look, I think exposure is literally, I think, the number one asset you can have.
Oh yeah.
For example, Aiden Ross, the what is he? The Twitcher, the Twitch streamer.
I don't know who that is now. So
he's pretty famous, but because of his exposure, another company similar to Twitch paid him $150 million to use their platform only. I'm like, that's only because of exposure.
Yeah. It opens opportunities. I always say, especially for like, well, obviously you've got multiple businesses, I've got multiple businesses, nowhere near in comparison, but like I always describe like social media and awareness as like 10-pin bowling. Like you've got this set of pins and you've got Josef who's at the front and I'm at the front. If you've got multiple income streams and stuff behind you, all you've got to do is smash that fucking front pin as hard as you possibly can, and everything else is getting knocked over behind it. But if you're constantly looking around at you and seeing what's going on and not focusing on your personal brand, you're just going to miss the point altogether. Yeah. So that's what I did realise in the last 2 years when I started posting about myself a lot more. But like, for example, like that's one of the biggest things right now. If you're coming into the fitness scene, like content creation is your job. Yeah. And if it's not your job, you need to get someone to make sure that it is. Like that's why I have a full-time social media manager now, because I just won't post if I don't have it.
I know some guys back home in New Zealand, they're very smart when it comes to diet, nutrition, training. They know all the science behind it. And they're like, how am I doing what I'm doing? And like, help me. And I'm like, yes, you're an amazing, you're very knowledgeable, but you don't get, it's done through social media, which you are doing nothing. So they post on social media like once in a blue moon.
Post a graphic up of an evidence-based paper or something.
I know, and it's like, you're smart and you have the knowledge, but people are not just going to buy that, especially if they don't know who you are and they can't find you. So you need to almost switch from being a knowledgeable personal trainer to being a content creator. Yeah. Get the people in, but still obviously know what you're talking about when it comes to...
you've got... It's the balance between the two, isn't it? It's what I say in this day and age, because this is a big argument, like, should we be posting reels, should we be posting images? And for me, like, I've done well because I've just gone, right, this is my audience, this is what's going to help them. I talk like I talk right now. I've never felt like I needed to be coming on camera talking in fucking professional, like, teacher language because I'm a director of a company. I've just been like, look, I'm from a council house estate. I'm doing well for myself now. This is who I am and this is what I do. Mm-hmm. And I've generally asked a lot of my clients before, the highest performance guys I've got, and they're like, why did you kind of join us? And they're like, oh, because of you. Mm. And they would have never, the thing is, people are never going to come in and buy into you unless you're showing your personality on kind of socials. And obviously, I followed you for ages and like, you just have a laugh with it. And you generally, it's like, is that a fun bit of content? Right, have you got a result? Mint, you're showing that you're good at your job. Right, how can I entertain people but also show value at the same time? And if you find that like sweet spot like you've got right now, it's just a case of fucking adding in frequency.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they're buying into people. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much you know. You don't need to go do another study paper. It's not going to make you sell anymore. No one really cares about that at the end of the day. It's building that relationship, building that trust, and building that connection with your audience.
I've just had a thought there. So obviously you kind of started coaching and you did so well because of your caring. Like you can clearly see who you are as a person. How the hell did you transfer your personal skills and human skills into an app-based coaching program? How did you? Because obviously people are buying into you and buying into JFR. Mm-hmm. How did you get that? Because that's pretty much someone going from you being a one-to-one coach to you being everywhere. Mm-hmm. So what did you kind of put in place so people trusted that type, even though it's low subscription? That's obviously one selling point, as we know. But what type of stuff did you have as part of kind of that low ticket program to kind of build that trust?
Yep. I think just over the years, it's providing so much value and so much information and so much knowledge. And the more I do that, the more trust and connection and relationship I build with my audience. So they almost trust in the brand that I'm behind. They believe in it, they support it, and they want to be a part of it. Also, at the end of the day, it is, a meal plan and a workout program based on exactly my rules and my beliefs. So it becomes, very easy to sell that. Now, I think another huge factor that has really helped me is social proof. client transformations, client testimonials, before and after images, or maybe a client sends me a DM. Hey, Joseph, I've just lost 4.3 kgs in my second week. This is amazing. Screenshot, repost that. All that social proof just makes people believe, because it's true, just makes people believe that what I'm selling works because it's feedback and it's advice from someone else that's not me. Of course, I'm going to say my thing's good because I'm selling it. Yeah. But when it's advice, when it's feedback from someone else, it's worth 100 times more. So I think because I've really focused on social proof, it's just helped me build and establish my brand rather than them needing to come to me one-on-one.
Yeah, and it's your own social proof as well.
Yeah.
It's like because obviously it's not like you're coming in and selling, best way I could describe this, it's not like Joseph's coming in and selling bodybuilding coaching and where people go through gaining phases and fat loss phases. Like the majority of the time, the marketing that you showcase on socials is you in fucking good shape, right? And obviously you will go through gaining phase and whatever else on that side. But what you showcase on the front end of marketing is you looking good, because that's the program and that's the product that people are selling. Because I think this is where some people go wrong with any business or any coaching program, is like, right, yeah, they're preaching one thing and then they're just not doing it the fucking self.
Yeah.
And this is not just about someone being out of shape and claiming to get people in shape. It's the values, it's their opinions, it's the thoughts, it's the opinions. Because I always have this analogy that, like, you might have this with New Zealand, I don't know, but say, for example, 5 people walk into a room.
Yep.
3 people ignore me. 1 person calls me a dickhead. 1 person says hello. I'd trust the 2 people who actually said something to me more than the 3 people who just did come in and didn't say anything.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Because they've got an opinion.
Yeah.
And that's what I always say to people with social media. Sometimes you might put an opinion out there which people don't like, and you get a spark and you get interaction. Good.
That's so true, yeah.
Because if you do that, people are going to throw their opinions in. People might start sharing it. But it's all, like you've come down to that, it's all about exposure, it's all about awareness.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get awareness by just posting about shit that people want to hear all the time.
That's so true, and I never thought about that way. Yeah.
I say, I don't know why it come up to me. I think I said it in a podcast, to be fair, once. Doesn't that matter?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I'm going to use that one.
Because it's just like, because it's true, don't it? Like, because at the end of the day, like, if you look at some of the, like from a celebrity standpoint, or like, for example, you've got keto in your diet, right? God, a keto, for example, across a lot of platforms, a lot of people might get a potential bad name, even though it fucking does what it says on the tin. It's as simple as that. Like, I don't know how there's an argument around it, to be fair. Like, if you want to lose fat really, really quickly, that's going to be the fucking fastest way to do it. But you're not kind of coming in and saying, right, this is what you need to do for the rest of your life, right? But the thing is, as soon as people see keto, that's going to spark. So some people are going to be fucking, I bet you had some stupid shit like thrown at you. But for example, some people are going to spark at it, but then other people are going to see that and be obviously buying into the marketing component of it. In the first 2 to 4 weeks, you're going to be losing 8 to 10 pounds. Because that you're selling what you're telling people on your content strategy. You're not lying or saying, right, you need to do keto for the next 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But this is where, like, this is the whole point, like, that opinion and potentially your business model there might not be in agreement with some people, but it don't fucking matter, because that's actually benefiting your business just as much as the people buying into it.
Yeah,
they're going to want talking about it.
You're so right. And even when they do talk about it and they comment, it creates that engagement, which gets your post to go further and reach more people. So yeah, and it's good. And then you get other people in the comments right back to them and defend. So there's definitely pros to having something that has a negative and a positive opinion on it.
It's going to get people good and try to piss people off on their Instagram.
You see all my posts from the next few weeks saying all this outrageous stuff.
Yeah, once that podcast is just going proper black and white on everything. Yeah, no, you've got to have a balance between everything. Like, don't get me wrong. But so going along the content side of things as well. Like, what is your social media strategy in terms of posting frequency? How do you approach it? Because I actually don't know that.
Yep. The way I do it is I think the best way. I have never once in my life had a posting schedule. Never had any strategy as such. I don't have any rules that I follow for how much to post. I film a lot of content, and right now I probably have literally between TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube videos, I would say at least 80 videos that I have not posted. And I probably have about 40 in the process getting edited. So my way of creating content is go one day, film 5 or 10 videos, get them edited, bank them. And then I've just got a folder on my phone and my laptop with just banked videos that I have never posted. At any time I want, whether it's 5 a.m. in the morning, whether it's I'm at lunch, just finished lunch, putting up a post, 12 at night in bed, whenever I want, I just put a post up when I feel like it. I don't try and go for any good times. I literally just do it when I want, write what I want, and I do all my own posts. And the reason I do that is because...
You do all your own posts?
Yep.
Fucking hell.
Because I enjoy it.
I can't stand it.
And
I hate it, I'm terrible with it.
If I have a structure and I have to post
Yeah.
at this time and I have to do this post, I don't enjoy it.
I don't mind doing my own stuff. Like, say, for example, I go on holiday or cycling, for example, or I'm training. I think they're easy to do, but I think I do very similar to you, but I get someone to post them for me. Banking it and 100%, like, I'll always like plan 30 days ahead. And I don't get me wrong, I have a strategy with my social media manager, but it's like, it's just a case of, if you don't have that bank of content, you're firing a gun with fucking no ammo. It's like, it doesn't matter how good your coaching program is. If you've not got content to promote it, then, because what I see a lot of people doing is they do a few days and they drop off for 5 days and then pick up again.
Yeah. I literally post on every single platform once, sometimes multiple times per day. Like, I don't know when my next post is. It could be when I get back to my place that I'm staying. Might have something to eat. Just finished eating. Oh, I decided to put a post up. Blah, blah, blah. This, blah, blah, blah. Posted. I don't know when the next one is. It's just when I want to.
Really? That's
and that I've done that my whole time. And that's the way I enjoy it.
But it's because you see it as a priority and you see it as a commitment. It's like, for me, I think I've just never enjoyed social media. I think I'm quite, best way to describe it, I'm a little bit autistic. I'm highly functional. So it's like, for me, when I get I can get hyper fixated on a task for 5-6 hours and not even realize what's happened because I've just done loads of stuff on my computer and not thinking about my phone. But it's like, this is what I say to kind of people when they're coming in and looking at how to scale their business. It's like, content creation has to be part of your job. And if you're
100%.
not, it's the same as, like, for example, going on to a sales process. Like, the amount of high performance companies I take on who the only reason that they're not scaling is because they've not got someone following up on leads or people who have had calls. So it's like, if you, so for example, it's the same as you have a sales manager, you need to have a content manager. So if someone's on their own, they need to be a sales manager, needs to be the content, and needs to be the coach. And it's like, how I see it is, anything I'm not good at or I can't do myself, I'll just hire to do it.
Yep.
Because I can imagine that you've got a shitload of staff.
Yep. So the team at JRF is pretty small.
Is it
it's all automated. And most of them are customer support and video people that film me and edit the videos. I got the COO. But I think without counting, we've got maybe 6 staff. Macroactive, we've got like 180.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so it's a lot bigger. But yeah, my fitness app, 6 staff without counting.
That's mental. It blows my mind. I knew a little bit about it anyway because I'd looked into it before. But obviously that's, again, it's what Josef's saying is basically everything that anyone who watches this podcast is saying in the last 4 or 5 years in terms of coaching, you've basically gone and done the total opposite and smashed fuck out of people who are saying coming in and charge, like, because everything now with business consultancy is like, right, you need to be charging £300 a month or £400 a month and charging fucking 12 months up front.
Yeah.
In reality, sometimes people ain't got 1,500 quid
exactly.
to drop. Like, and that's why I do a bit of a hybrid, because I think you shouldn't really put your eggs in one basket anyway.
Yep. And, like, there's pros and cons to both. With high ticket, you can get a lot of money in the door quick. So my subscription is super cheap and super affordable. It's only $7 per week. So my conversions are very high. Like, I don't need to get on a call with them. I don't need to vet them. I don't need to sell them. I don't even need a VSL, a video sales letter. I just need a landing page because it's so cheap. Oh yeah, I may as well sign up, give it a go. If I don't like it, I get my money back.
And people forget about it.
Yep, and because it's so cheap, I average around 50 to 60 clients per day. Now, they're only paying me $7, but my average lifetime value per client is $410. Now, we've got upsells along the way. We sell them supplements, we sell them clothing, we sell them onto a year, stuff like that. But because it's so cheap, I get so many a day, it just takes a while for that money to come in.
And
but essentially I get $400. So it's essentially $400 sales.
And the thing is, what you've got there is, I wouldn't even know how many fucking emails that you've got, but you've got a lot of data capture. You release a high ticket coaching thing. Like, again, some of my clients doing 70, 80 grand a month in high, like £250 kind of coaching. You've got that. That's how easy, because you've got so much information where people have had that little bit of a taste of like, right, you've got the low ticket in now, bang, right, here's high ticket. You can have a very good conversion. Obviously not going to have anywhere near as much because it's more expensive, but you've got that pool of people who you've already got capitalized.
Yep.
So that's why, again, I have a lot of clients who come in, it's like, right, Sam, you've hit well, very good with kind of coaching standpoint. Like at the moment we're basically building 3D games with Andrew Dew and Ben Bray and Rat Brownbeer. And I had a meeting with them kind of last night, and I was like, because they tried the app before, and I was like, I said the only reason that failed is because kind of Andre is not a coach, and he's an influencer, he's an athlete. I said, so if he comes out and releases an app, that's fine, but he didn't have what you said earlier, which was people buying into you. Hence why it's called the JF kind of, is it JFK? That JRF app, because they're buying into you. So what I'm doing for him is basically building a team around what looks like him with Physique Impact, where he's on kind of live calls per week. So for him, it's fucking easy. Yeah. All he's got to do is turn up to a 30-minute call once a week and put one collaborative post out, and someone else handles it all for him. But that's why you've got to really think about. Again, it's the first model I've heard. Like, I don't know anyone who's doing that. Yeah. I think that's why I'm quite intrigued by it.
Yeah.
I think it's cool as fuck.
It almost seems like everyone is doing high ticket now.
Yeah, it is. It does made in as well. Because I think people think that's the only way they can build a business.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, like, it's common sense. It's like, the higher the ticket, you lower the conversion. The lower ticket, higher the conversion. So in reality, when you first start out, like when you first started out as a PT and I started out as a PT, I used to sell shitloads really easily because I was charging cheap. Right, but over time you've got to obviously do increments in price increase, and there's a certain point where you decide which route you're going to go down. But like a lot of people, like if you turn around at first sentence, went, how much is your coaching? You went, solid $7 a month. They go, huh.
Yeah.
So $7 a month. They're like, yeah, I've got 170,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you'd obviously shock people a little bit on that side, but yeah, mate. Honestly, I think that's a good way to wrap up that. This is basically what Joe's doing is absolutely frightening. It's just been class to meet you, mate. So thanks for
and likewise, been good to meet you as well.
Cheers, bro.
Awesome.
Nice one, pal.